How's everyone doing? Welcome to Digital Marketing and Advertising Agency Channel. We're going to be covering today ad spend trends and the different locations you can place them. We like to use independent reports from no competitors, and as I bring these up, I love to show you guys trends that we're seeing and comment on what we're talking about too. So this is the 2025 IAB Digital Video Ad Spend and Strategy Full Report. It's a lens into the TV and digital video market, a lot more specific, which is accounting for a lot of the growth. There was a part one that was released which we haven't covered, but we're going to go into the report. This is an independent party. This is just maybe 1 or 2 months old, and we're going to go into it. So this is by IAB. We are going through this to comment on it for educational purposes and review it. So give them full credit and thank you for their research. We're just going to pick out a couple things here. It's in its 12th year. It talks about advertising perceptions, where it's moving. The full report talked about some of it. Now it reveals how it's evolving rapidly with generative AI, while CTV is shifting to programmatic activation, driving increased demand for biddable inventory. And now when buying live content on CTV, advertisers demand more advanced capabilities. What we're seeing is that around bottom of funnel business outcomes, we explored how these outcomes are defined and measured. That although content quality is the top criteria, failure to deliver outcomes is the number one reason they reduce or remove spend with a streaming partner. And because of that, you have to look at the difference between a placement ad and where those are located. So YouTube ads, in my opinion, are still number one because they're search-based, and that's why we test. And anyone that comes there, it's a lower cost per impression. Facebook is probably number 2 after that for general, and I would say TikTok's in there too. But this is the key insights. Says, although content quality is top criteria, failure to deliver outcomes is what's limited. When investing, TV and video buyers prioritize perceived content quality above all other considerations, including targeting. And so we are a creative studio, which means we generate all of our own content and pretty quickly in-house and drive strategies as well. After deep research, CTV is increasingly rivaling social video as channel buyers expect to drive key outcomes. Buyers want CTV and social video, CTV at driving online store visits at a lower cost. A lot of this is if CPCs are rising and the ones that you're targeting aren't clicking, there might be channels or products or different places where you can have a higher likelihood to do that. And that's based on research. As live content moves to streaming, buyers have higher expectations with streaming platforms. Investing in live content on streaming platforms, nearly 6 in 10 buyers expect more capabilities than linear TV. Over 40% incremental audiences reach. There was a streamer university this year, and Kai had massive interest. Over 1 million applications, and I think setting something like that up is very strong for organic, and also selling ad space on boot camp weekends, which is one of the strategies we're looking into this year, depending on who we begin or the niches that we select. The evolution in programmatic CTV is driving an increase in biddable inventory. Half of their CTV to be biddable, which is an increase. So creating a bidding platform is what they want. Nearly 9 in 10 digital video advertisers are using or planning to use generative AI for ad creative, built from scratch or adjusted using that. Let's check out the spend. You can see how this is amazing growth. Digital ad is robust. Digital video, that is CTV, social, and online video, grew 18% to $64 billion. One of the fastest growing media channels, and projected another 14% in 2024 in 2025. 2 to 3 times faster than total media. And I think a lot of it comes down to tariffs, geopolitical, and consumer sentiment. But I think if you really talk to someone, I think what you're going to see is no matter what, not all platforms are the same. And I think if you look at Snapchat video ads or YouTube video ads or Facebook video ads, it's a bidding platform direction is the way to go. So I think you have to pick the platform you want to be on. You can see the growth from 26 billion to 72 by the end of this year, which is almost tripling in size in 5 years, which is just amazing. And that's because new platforms continue to emerge and it continues to evolve. Digital video is pulling further ahead of linear TV. It's projected to capture 58%. And that's based on, in 2024, it surpassed linear TV, and it was fueled by continued subscriber losses. Digital video is expected to grow. So being able to know which one to buy on, create the campaigns, who to connect with, what audience segment is most likely, and having multiple products to do that with is an amazing way to look at that. It says the total TV and video spend. This says digital video and linear TV, and it's decreasing in market share. Linear, you can see it's almost identical. If you look at digital video channel, it's posting double digits across the board. That's CTV, social video, and online video, which is the breakups of digital video. CTV came back and rebounded with 60% growth. The turnaround was driven by some of the actor and other strikes, but you could see the consistent growth. And I agree that tariffs do have, impacts on if you make a physical product. I think a lot of our focus sometimes isn't so much on those things, and depending on the price point of the person that you're working with, that's going to be an impact on it too. If you sell what people need or, what people are looking for, it's also a big one. So CTV and social are the must buys for 2025. It says over 2/3 of buyers cite CTV as their media plans. Both channels continue to be highly valued. Streaming platforms continue to scale and evolve their CTV programmatic and self-serve activation tools. So media buying is becoming complex. The must buy is CTV and social, and then the second one after that was national broadcast or online video. So CTV is still number one. And determining where to spend digital video dollars. This is really important. This is what an advertising agency or a campaign manager or a pay-per-click management firm is going to help you. We don't really target small brands. We target brands that are growing aggressively. If they are small, they have plans to grow quickly. But this says as digital grows, this will show what's most important. Content quality. So we also rotate having 5 different variations, multiple actors. We shoot ads. We have UGCs. We have, depending on the client that we're working with, we're going to be requesting those types of things. We also have AI generative that are faceless, or that you can also hire UGC creators through a lot of these platforms that, depending if it's female, male, the age, the delivery, the styles. So we can come with a approach and then a couple options. So having that ability is really big. That's something that we launched this year. Targeting capabilities is huge. Price efficiency. I think that's just going to come down to how efficient can we get with it. And that's big. Like you're seeing YouTube within Google Search Network. We believe being on one platform and having reach and access and search base is more important. But this is for video. So for video, content quality is going to be it. We also look at the difference between full watch, 15 seconds, where non-skippable ads are very popular. And then overall reach and guaranteed business outcomes are big ones. Content quality is more important for smaller brands. I think as you grow, that's less important. Ease in buying. We're performance marketing, so we continue to look at ways to generate returns. Unique audience, data integrations. This is huge for us. KPIs, click times. I think frequency of rotation, innovative placements, which is one of the things we're working on. Reddit. Some other places that are really growing. The fastest growing ad platform right now is Reddit. I think Meta is gonna grow with ads that are more like text ads, right? You're seeing text ads within Instagram too. So I think it's the medium more. I think you're seeing like simplicity being better. Strength of sales relationships, year-over-year rate reduction, and cancellation flexibility. When investing in live content, buyers expect more streaming platforms than linear. Although streaming is emerging, they want to be on more platforms. For sporting events, award shows, or special events, buyers are holding their streaming to high standards. So I would say the biggest is sporting events. And we've looked at, there's different levels of sporting events, but like, I think as you see, I think relationships is going to get you much further. So, boxing and slap boxing and derivatives of that. I know a lot of these creators. So as you know, I have a massive creator network. And as you see how they're compensated, I think it helps a lot. We're pushing really big YouTube followings over other ones because they have the ability to have large audiences and more of a structure. That's a little bit more predictable. So 58% of buyers want more capabilities. Buyers expect live streaming to deliver incremental audiences. So they want brand safety and suitability, incremental audiences, real-time contextual. Although it's important, buyers want capabilities within the environment. Programmatic, this is CTV. Open exchanges and RTBs and ad networks. That's IO transactions. 85% of TV buys are now purchased programmatically, up from 75%. The rise of publisher self-serve activation platforms show how major streaming are using in-house automation to streamline it. So you have private marketplace, preferred deals, programmatic, guaranteed, publisher, insertion order, and open exchange or ad networks. Buyers now want them to be biddable, right? As programmatic grows, they want them to be click. So we see that campaigns and clicks are really big, platforms that allow for that, and that continues to grow the read on that. They want it to be other digital, and I can make quick ones. Top expectations when buying it. Better ROI or ROAS, that's great. I think that's going to come down to targeting and search, which is why we push that. On demand side platforms, that can also help. This combination helps drive that. The other one is easier to achieve scale, easier activation, and better pricing. Top challenges: measurement complexity, standardization, and leveraging cross-channel data. We're not really focused on smaller brand, but it's cross-device journey. That is very difficult to tap. Programmatic CTV is forging new dynamics and approaching between buyers and sellers. And let's see what else. Outcomes. Setting the stage, understanding business outcomes. Buyers reduce spend is because of poor business delivery outcome. So that's coming down with how to track that and making sure that they can see it and make sure you have a high converting landing page and copy. Store visits and sales are the most important by video buyers. Top and mid funnel outcomes, parities among the three. Store visits, sales, lead gen. We're kind of falling in here, but store visits is big for e-com. Buyers are more likely to see store visits and lead gen from social video than others, than what they're saying. So from using your product, we see TikTok ads as a big reason. We're working with it. This is how I use this, right? Some of the biggest creators that I know started their own product lines and use the product and now rank organically for it, right? So that's an example. MMM and sell side, they want 3P measurements. Buyers need placement level KPIs. That's what they expect. The top important is campaign and placement level KPIs, which is what we really look for. The future of digital and AI driven creative, it's definitely going to grow, but I don't think you're going to replace UGC. We're seeing some of ours. We test a lot of ads organically to see how it does. Small brands are using generative AI greater. I think when you get to the bigger brands, they're paying for full content creation and full studio. Versions for different audiences, that's huge. Segmentation by quiz funnel replies. As far as this, buyers by far want sell side to facilitate Gen AI. Nearly half of buyers are looking to the sell side to enable creative testing, similarities, and variant. Recap. It reveals that the digital advertising landscape is important. Buyers prioritize content quality above targeting. Their willingness to maintain. CTV is rapidly closing the gap with social video as a performance-driven channel, matching expectations. And I think generative AI is increasing. The programmatic evolution is reshaping it. And performance marketing is huge. The recommendations are to focus on programmatic CTV, making sure that it's fully biddable. Business outcomes are huge, which is what we focus on, and live content, and using generative AI within it. So that's a lot of what we saw this year. Thank you so much for watching within the digital landscape. We're always doing these videos. Comment what you want to see.